Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 389
389
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. There have been some announcements beginning, for the 50th anniversary. We've been hearing a few things, and that starts on October 1st, 2021. Check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel if planning a trip to Walt Disney World. They can help guide you through whatever you need to know.
We're going to start off with some breaking news that we just heard before we started recording.
Imagineer Joe Rohde, who has left Disney, is going to be with Virgin Galactic. That's very exciting for him.
Yeah.
You know, like our loss, is going to be something maybe really, really cool for him.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing what that brings. As you can see, though, we're going to start talking about the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration, the world's most magical celebration. And now we know for sure the official kickoff is October 1st, 50 years exactly, 2021.
Right, and you have been going to the park for 50 years.
I remember the 5th. And the 10th and the 20th and 25th and so on. So this will be very exciting.
And I've only been going since 1977. So, that's still a pretty long time, though. It'll be an 18-month celebration with what Disney calls iridescent, EAR, iridescent.
Iridescent. You could see it right
Decor
there.
more, right?
Very gold. Very not unlike what they did when Disneyland had its 50th anniversary. Remember, they actually decorated our castle here.
And they have like the 50th emblem on the castle. And Mickey and Minnie will receive new costumes, and they will be blue.
Iridescent, I believe.
Yes, iridescent. And we've seen a lot of blue for anniversaries
We were
lately.
just talking about that on our morning walk. Like Disneyland Paris, they had their 25th, and that was very blue. And the 60th anniversary, I'm wearing a 60th shirt right now.
That
and
was
that's
all
very blue.
All blue. And
for Disneyland.
So there'll be embroidered impressions of Cinderella Castle backed by fireworks, and you can see that
Yeah,
right here
yeah,
on Mickey's jacket.
Boy, you would have thought that you timed it very nicely.
I had no idea that was coming up, and I guess maybe Minnie will have that. It's harder to see. They didn't really make it as easy to see on Minnie.
They look great, though. I can't wait to meet them in person in these outfits.
Yeah, this will be, right now, obviously with the pandemic and all, it's not going to be what it would have been, but I'm sure there'll be more announcements coming up.
Well, we have a little bit more, though, that we're going to talk about.
Beacons of Magic is what they call it.
That's right, and we're looking at some of the renderings of the Beacons of Magic. There is the Tree of Life. And this one excites me, the Spaceship Earth, because, of course, we have the new entranceway, which is pretty much done now, and the new lighting package. That'll be very nice.
And that will be permanent. Of the 4 parks, that will be permanent. But you can see there's going to be special lighting. I think the entrance there might still be a little coming. I don't know if they're going to go as far as they did on the original concept art with the topiaries and all, but we'll see. And here we are, like magic, at Epcot.
Yes, and it is just another day at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts, and as we record this today, it's the final day.
It's very sad that it's ending, but at the same time, Epcot Flower and Garden Festival is coming up on March 3rd. And you can see, I think she thought she was making Ian and Barley. But anyway, Barley is here, and this is Leigh, who creates so much of the Disney artwork.
It would not be a
Chalk
festival without her artwork.
No, she's really incredible, and we can see a blue heron here. And one of the things I love about going to Walt Disney World is seeing so much wildlife.
Remember when the parks
birds.
first opened, the ducks still had control of the Magic Kingdom? They were very different, those ducks.
They were amazing. Like, just, I think we mentioned it recently, following you up, Main Street.
Now we're at the Canada Pavilion looking at the beautiful Victoria Gardens.
And this is one of my favorite areas during the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, which will be the taste of the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival this year. And there is Captain Hook and Peter Pan. Peter Pan received a new look last year, as did Tinkerbell, the kind of the next gen 2.0 topiary look. Now, Captain Hook's looks a little different this year, but it's not quite that sculpted look, but to some extent.
Right, Peter Pan looks exactly like he looked last year. I mean, perfect, a great new look, but Captain Hook looks a little different. His mouth is very different than we've seen him in the past.
Well, a lot of
the expression.
I don't want to say a lot of the topiaries because a lot of them aren't up yet, but a number of the topiaries so far have had it's almost like there's a different artist.
Correct. It
Styling
has
them.
that feel, and I am encourage that. I like that. It's interesting to see them change
It's a
and
little bit
evolve over
different.
the years. And here, now this was great. We just happened to be getting some pictures and video when the cavalcade came by, so it was kind of nice to see Mickey and Minnie and Goofy going by the topiary.
It's like, it's always interesting to see different angles of the cavalcades, but also of the topiaries.
Oh, and there is Alice in Wonderland there, but in this case she is in the UK Pavilion in the
Yes.
garden.
And I took some pictures with they have the teacups now for the festival, and so it was kind of nice to get those photos.
And I had something in common with Alice. It was both of our unbirthdays on this day.
Huh.
How do you like that?
That's almost every day.
And they've moved some of the artwork temporarily, or
I
probably for
saw
the end
mine.
of the festival.
Or I saw me back there. Well, they moved it because they were putting Tinkerbell in back here.
Right.
So
And the
is
festival
where,
it's going to be over today, so
right.
it was
But they
just
needed
very
to move
temporary.
it on out for Tinkerbell.
That's right. And Tinkerbell looks great in her, I guess now it's her usual spot. It's been the second or third year that she's been back here.
I never think of places as usual spots, although certain areas, the characters end up there for like a really long time, like Beauty and the Beast now. I expect them to be where they've been for like 5 or 6 years at this point.
That's right. And I have a feeling that Remy will return to where he was.
I think, well, it's a good location at the beginning of where the Epcot, where Ratatouille will be, yes.
So let's see, what do we have next? Oh, the Pooh and Friends topiary.
Well, Rabbit looks a little different this year.
Does.
Rabbit's eyes, Rabbit didn't have eyes like that this year, so I just thought it was kind of interesting.
I think Pooh could use a little upgrade, if you ask me.
Well, you know what? I don't think they're really upgrading characters this year, and I don't think there's any new topiaries either.
You're
There's
right,
his
that's
eyes.
true. I like his look though. It's different.
But maybe next year we'll see, some of the more characters get that upgrade. Last year was Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, and then of course Remy was new, and the dragon from China ended up in Japan and totally different.
Oh, the Bromeliad dragon.
Right, but now he's a Japanese dragon.
So here is Eeyore, which I always love to see, and your favorite, one of your favorites,
Piglet.
Look at how cute. I'm going to give you a close-up, but Piglet is adorable, and the flowers are really grown in already. You could really see his coloring.
We're so fortunate here with the weather, and it is going to be like 90 degrees a couple days next week, so we're already getting some heat. But it's just been, the flowers being added to the park look amazing.
Yeah, I haven't had to wear long pants in many weeks now. Already. Unbelievable.
And then
Shakespeare
Garden here. He's like the guardian of the restrooms over at the United Kingdom, year after year.
Is that what he is? He's
is
the guardians of the restroom? I don't know if that's the official story.
Whenever I take photos of him, you've got the restrooms there. So.
And I think of you because you always love to stop and look at this flower arrangement here by the France Pavilion.
Well, it's always there. And I always used to think it was a spider, but it's actually a butterfly.
So what is missing from this picture?
And I guess it's been at least a month or something since all these tables disappeared, but we had noticed.
And chairs. There is no benches. It is completely cleared out. And this is the first time we really, as you said, we really noticed it because we were there so early and there was no other guests at all. You could really see it.
And it wasn't that long ago that we had, a little food with Axel.
Yeah, we sat there and chatted and had where the chairs usually would. You would have ice cream and things like that there. And here comes the princesses, the procession.
I feel like every week we're showing a cavalcade.
We are, because they come by and I can't not record them. It's impossible for me to just stand. I've never not recorded them.
I have not photographed at times. It'll be like, I've got a lot. So here we are at Morocco. They have the spice balls.
Always a favorite.
And I'm not sure it's always a favorite, but yeah.
It is. It reminds me of when they used to have the Zodiac Garden. That kind of material, remember?
I'm surprised that they've lasted as long as they have, but they look nice, and there I am. Like, I make so many appearances lately.
Well, I used to make an effort to not have you make an appearance, but now I make zero effort. If you're there, you told me, you said, if I'm there, I'm there.
You might as well just keep
That's
rolling.
Right. So look at this. Not a very crowded day there at World Showcase.
Even yesterday, I was at Epcot like I got there at about 11. It wasn't too bad for a Sunday, just to walk around in. I mean, the lines were fairly long, but just for walking purposes was great.
So now we're looking at the China Pavilion Pandas, always a favorite. And this is the second year in this particular location, in a far, far better location than previous. And really, if they were where they used to be, we wouldn't have been able to see them because the frozen line was going right past there.
This is way better. Like, they actually look like playful pandas.
Yeah.
They were like crammed into this little area before. And now they,
I think they put the Zodiac there last year. The Zodiac.
Yeah, I thought the Zodiac was in this area, but I'm not sure. And the troll looks different this year. Also,
I like him. I like his look. He's a very unique topiary, and I like the way, see his hair, that it's actually, the grass that kind of grows long like that. It's nice.
It reminds me sort of like the little sculptures that you could
like
buy.
The toy trolls.
Yeah, something like that. And there is Elsa and Anna. I'm trying to remember when they debuted. I think it was around 2015. And so they've been here about 6 years. I mean, not in Norway all the time. They've been in a couple different areas. But this seems to be their area
This is
now.
a great spot for them. It's much easier to photograph them than when they were in the show center that first year. Remember that?
I do remember that, yes.
I think you got a picture of them with the fireworks, the Illuminations fireworks. And of course, the real Queen Anna here and also Queen Elsa at another point were meeting distant meet and greets.
I think it's nice that they, have some distant meet and greets. There aren't very many of them.
Have you ever gone up there, up close, to see them?
Not close, no.
So they have green dots.
I saw
and
that.
Every group stands on the dots. It's very organized.
I stood on a dot, but I wasn't close. Like,
Okay.
I stayed kind of farther away. But anyway, this is just one of those, like, there isn't a time. You don't know if you're going to see them. So,
Right. There's no time and there's no line. So the cast members just say, pick a dot, stand on the dot, and when it's time, they will look at you and you can interact with them. So it's really good.
And this is on a
different day. This
yeah,
was the
I
other day,
say.
the first day we went.
So again, it's nice. I can't think of too many. I mean, you have Pooh and Alice and Mary Poppins.
And I noticed they don't seem to have their cavalcade now that they're doing more meet and greets, which makes sense.
Well, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it in a while, but I don't know that they're not having it. We just haven't seen it.
So we finally decided to take a ride on the Gran Fiesta Tour. We haven't ridden it in a while, and we wanted to see the new special finale, so to speak.
Well, I mean, the audio-animatronics, are they audio-animatronics?
Yeah, they were from the Mickey Mouse Review, a Walt Disney World opening day attraction.
Mm-hmm. And they're currently not there. So, I mean, it took us a while to do this.
Normally it's so crowded, and this day we were able to do it back to back, which was unbelievable. But by the third time,
there was
quite
busy.
Quite the line. There was actually a line just to get into the pavilion by the time we were done.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Mexico Pavilion is you generally want to get there at opening, because if you don't, a lot of times there is a queue outside of the pavilion.
And it can be a lengthy queue depending on the day.
And I think they now have two different areas, like one where you wait for margaritas and the other where you wait for the ride.
So this is very nostalgic for me as we're going around the corner and taking a look at the ride. This reminds me of If You Had Wings, especially as we're coming up there. There's a certain video right there of the Caballero guys going by on the boat. And that reminds me of a scene they used to have If You Had Wings.
I loved If You Had Wings. That was one of my favorite attractions ever in a park, and it was very simple. I like the speed room.
And a lot of this just reminds me of that. And there'll be another part that I'm going to show that very much reminds me of that. That was sponsored by Eastern Airlines, the Wings of Man, if you remember.
But the ride itself also, it's still similar to what it was before the three Caballeros came in as well.
Mm-hmm. And these scenes here very much remind me of If You Had Wings, where in that particular version there were street people trying to sell you, wanting you to buy items.
I totally forgot about that. Yes.
So it's kind of, and they used to have that before they changed that out and put in the Caballeros.
Well, you know what? I enjoy this ride. We don't ride it often, so it was fun to get to do it. Right now, you have the three Caballeros instead of audio-animatronics, are like, I don't know if they're cardboard cutouts. So that's
Yeah.
this
Well,
is what this all led to.
This is a temporary placeholder for. I'm sure they're going to fix up those classic animatronics. I mean, again, they've been around for just about 50 years now, and they went to Tokyo Disney for what, 20, 30 years or longer. So, you know, I think they probably needed a good sprucing up. I can't wait to see them back, though.
And they've been here now for a number of years. You know, I remember the first day they went in, so it's probably been at least 4 or 5 years.
That was
more.
a D23 special extravaganza when they were in there.
Yeah,
So that was really cool.
I thought that was really, I think it was a really nice addition to the ride.
And this is always just a fun and relaxing ride to me, so I'm glad we got to do it. And now we're looking at Harmonius Testing. Look at that go.
Yeah, I mean, they've been working on this. Harmonious is, I don't know when it will debut. I'm hoping, though, that will be this year.
I have a feeling perhaps October 1st would be
It's
a good
possible.
day to debut something like that. But,
I mean,
what do I know?
There's no reason, I think, that especially Epcot can't have a nighttime show, and especially the fountains during the day, you know, because there's so much room around World Showcase Lagoon for guests to social distance, especially with the lower attendance.
And currently there are 2 barges out that are, you know, as we're looking at one of them testing, and there's 3 more to come. And at some point they will have waterfalls on them.
And
all day.
And yeah, it's going to be like fountains during the
that's
day.
what I meant.
Right,
I meant
waterfalls.
obviously fountains.
We're putting waterfalls
waterfall,
in the middle.
not a good idea.
And so yeah, fountains during the day, and then of course the show at night. And we'll see what happens with that. We don't know anything about other shows coming.
Right, they haven't announced anything, so it's hard to know. This was new between last week and this week. The flower quilt on the right side, looking back towards Spaceship Earth.
Yes, this is the east side. I used
East
it
side.
E for electric umbrella. That's
right.
how I remember
Communicore
this.
East, remember, and Communicore West,
Yes.
which doesn't exist anymore.
So there is Thumper and Bambi and Flower. And remember when I mentioned that the topiaries look a little different? Like even Flower and Bambi look a fair bit different. I mean, very similar, but at the same time with some different features this year.
Right. And again, I quite like it. Just as you said, I really think it makes me think that whoever is in charge of making them and decorating them has a different approach, you know? So it's nice to see it. I do like that.
So, and of course not everything, because like the Snow White, the Belle, like they will be the same because of the way their features are.
So now we decided to take a little Skyliner ride, and we're going to go up over the France Pavilion and take a look at the Ratatouille area, what we can see.
I can't wait for this to open. I know I have to, but I'm hoping in the next month or two we'll see at least soft openings.
And if you look carefully, they've added props. There's little bicycles, and there's different flowers, and there's one of the bikes down there that you had noticed.
The Vespa, I think that's...
Vespas.
Yes, Chef Skinner's Vespa, I believe, is down there. And there's all kinds of... There was like a macaron tower.
Yeah, I see it. I see it down there to the right. There it is. Oh, you can see it good.
Look at that. But it was gone the last time I rode yesterday. So it was
really?
totally... Yeah, those weren't there.
Did they not cover it, or they just took them
out? No,
out?
they're gone. They're gone. So I don't...
Maybe they were doing promotional photos or something back there. That's very interesting.
Well, maybe they'll put them back, but we'll see. So it's but it's fun to fly over, and I'm hoping we'll do that tomorrow and take a look at what's new.
It really is. It really is fun to. I'm glad this is one of those things that we do a lot more than we normally would, just because it's nice to see what's going on.
Because I love the Disney Skyliner.
This is very unique. We went over to Disney's Art of Animation Resort because we had heard they're doing some refurbishment on the outside area. And right here where you see the lift, that's where Ariel normally is. And they're sanding it down, and I'm sure it's just to put a new full color version because I think they were all starting to fade.
I never really thought of them as faded. Like when we saw them, I thought, they've been up for just about 10 years now.
Right,
I thought they looked still pretty good. But it'll be interesting to see if it's exactly the same versions of what we're used to, or if they'll make any little changes.
And I wonder if they will ever completely retheme one of the areas. I mean, that's possible down the road.
I don't, I wouldn't think so. I mean, the resort was built with certain places, certain movies in mind.
Right.
So I would be surprised.
And clearly the pool is also very closed right now.
It actually is going to be closed. It looks like through at least early April. there's a lot of work going on.
And it is the biggest pool of any of the resorts, I guess.
And you can use a Cozy Cone or the Flip and Fins pool instead right now. Cozy Cone's actually my favorite pool, even though this one is huge. There's something about getting one of those cones and getting to just kind of, enjoy some time with like a little cone cabana.
And fun little fact, when this pool originally opened, they had the sounds of the fish and Mr. Ray, and when you went underwater, you could hear that.
I never went underwater. I don't like
I know.
underwater, so I missed it, unfortunately. But they don't do that anymore.
That's right. But anyway, it was very interesting to get back over there to the Art of Animation, and I don't think we went over to the other resort, did we?
To Pop Century? No, we didn't not on this visit.
So now it is yesterday, and this was your day, so you can set it up.
I did almost 30,000 steps yesterday.
I know, you
went
did a lot.
all over, and I started at Disney's Riviera Resort. I have been wanting to try these lemon blueberry pancakes forever.
Oh, they look so good.
It's really good, but I mean, when you open that box, I had 2 masks on, and all of a sudden the lemon, even with the mask, I could smell the lemon so much, and then really good amount of blueberries.
I only eat pancakes if they have
macadamia nuts. No. These were really good, and especially for a counter location. It's not even a table service, it's a counter location. And then I also bought, they have really good banana bread, those really good banana
It was.
bread.
You were nice enough to bring me some of that banana bread home.
You ate almost all of it.
Did I?
Yes.
It was really good.
So here we are at Epcot. I took, I was going to take the Disney Skyliner, but the Epcot line at Caribbean was really backed up. So I took the line over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I walked over, and that worked out really good. Now, I had not seen this merchandise, and I guess it's been at least online for at least a couple of months.
I haven't seen it either. This is new to me.
It was not at Art of Disney when we were there probably a week ago. We have seen this art at Disney Springs with Joe Gardner from Seoul in different, really just kind of reimagined in artwork. And so now they're on, he's on shirts. And right next door is the Soul of Jazz exhibit that we've shown before. And so this is really kind of part of that, but also for, I think, kind of like a Black History Month right now, really out front and center.
Well, I thought it was nice that they are showcasing the artist as well, not just the merchandise.
And like if you look at the murals at Disney Springs, I think these are all of those as well. So it's really nice that they're utilizing
I
that.
love this. This is one of my favorites of the 3D chalk art.
Well, you know what? I'm just glad I got to see it because we've had so much rain.
I know. They haven't lasted more than a day or two whole season.
Yeah, not the whole season, but the last couple times, maybe like 24 hours. This is Nate Baranowski. He is such an amazing, I've used that word a lot, amazing chalk artist. And so I think he's from Chicago, and he comes here and does chalk art on the weekends. And you've got here the Mary Poppins, and you can actually get into that and be part of the artwork.
How come we never do that?
I don't know, because you were not together and it wasn't there.
I wasn't there that time. That's right. So this, I haven't even seen this yet in person. I'll let you set it up.
This is the 3rd year that Woody and Bo Peep and her sheep had come into the festival for Toy Story 4 3 years ago. This is their 3rd year together. Woody used to be in the American Pavilion for quite some time. He was first here in 2011 as part of the Toy Story 3 contingent. So now they are here in I want to say Innoventions West.
In Future World, a much better
Future
location.
World West. And this is not an area we usually get topiaries in.
Never. Because as far as I can tell, this is right in front of the Land Pavilion, right? In that general area?
Right. It used to be from Imagination to Living Seas, there was
the butterflies
nothing.
Used to be here.
A little,
I think last year.
Yeah, last year, and Figment over at Imagination. But before that, we really didn't have anything.
Right.
So it's nice to see this area getting a little topiary love. And it's actually a fantastic area. They're a little elevated, and you can move around them. And so it allows a lot of guests to enjoy them.
Yeah, I like it. Very good location. I can't wait to see this in person.
Yeah, and we're going to see it in person tomorrow. I'm hoping there'll be a lot more topiaries coming up by tomorrow.
And you did a nice job really showing all the different vantage points and views. So you're getting really good with the video on the iPhone.
And I also went to Animal Kingdom. I did a lot. I was going to go to Disney Springs, and I
Well,
just
tomorrow,
didn't do it.
tomorrow we'll go to Disney
Okay.
Springs.
I would have gotten over 30,000 steps.
So a sand sculpture. It's been a couple of years since we've last seen a sand sculpture at Walt Disney World.
This is for Raya and the Last Dragon, and that is upcoming on March 5th in select movie theaters. And
Wonderful film, by the way.
We did see it. We can't talk about it too much, but definitely recommend it. And so also Disney Plus Premier Access, $29.99 on the same day. And I think in June is when the movie will be available on Disney Plus, just included. So you've got Tuk Tuk there. That's he's like three different things, including a pill bug, kind of like Tuck and Roll.
He is sort of the comedic sidekick.
He's one of them. Yeah, he's really cute, and they're going to sell so much plush of him.
I want one.
You do? You do not.
I do.
They're selling
I
them,
really
so you
loved
can
him in the film.
You can use your 30% and buy one at Walt
I did
Disney
not know
World
they were
tomorrow.
selling them yet.
They just started. So also Sisu, I think that's how the Last Dragon, who is on top, and then of course Raya is to the right. And I love the sand sculptures, and I don't know when the last one was that we've seen.
The last time we saw sand sculptures was that the Sand Sculpture Fest at the Swan and Dolphin, when they had a whole bunch of different...
That can't be the last
I just
ones.
researched it, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's been quite a while since they've done them at Epcot.
You know, they used to do them just about every year for the Flower and Garden Festival. I remember dolphins they used to do a lot of Disney Nature.
Right, and I linked to as many as we have video of quite a few of them over the years, but not recently, not for about 4 years.
I love that we saw so much art. I saw so much art yesterday. I saw the sand sculpture. I saw, the new topiaries, and I saw, them doing chalk art. And it's just, to see that much different kinds of art. I mean, we're just so fortunate. Disney's not just about rides. It's about, a lot more than that.
And we want to say thank you to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan
Travel.
Travel. We've been looking at their logo while we're chatting about art.
Yes, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Check them out. And if you want to, we've got 4 months coming up here of the Epcot International, Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. I know not everybody is traveling right now, and there will be some who maybe still can't by the time, because I don't know if eventually international travel, I don't know how long that will be until that can happen, but if you're able to and you're wanting to visit, the Flower and Garden Festival will be 4 months this year.
I cannot wait. One of my probably my favorite time of all at Epcot is the Flower and Garden Festival.
It's my favorite time of year at Walt Disney World, and especially as the topiaries are coming in. I just love this time of year.
I can't wait to go again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see some new topiary.
That is, not new, but new
new
to us
new
this year.
Because you never know if they're going to look different or be in a different location. So it's really fun. I try not to look at any advance notices, and we just go to the park and explore the whole park and look.
I enjoy that, and also just the gardens and the flowers, and it's all so beautiful right now.
And we're going to go to the Magic Kingdom later in the week with our fingers crossed that maybe they will have reopened the People Mover. Wouldn't that be nice?
It looks like they're training on that, and that's one of my favorite attractions as well. I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to get back there. So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We'll see you all next week. Stay safe and happy Garden Festival time.
No, that's not. There's no happy yet.
Yes, it's almost time. It gets close.
It's what? It's not yet. Happy. It's not time yet for the Epcot.
Well, you got me
March
looking
3rd.
forward to it.
Every day is really good to get out to especially to get out to Epcot right now. There's never a bad day to go out to Epcot.
Well, thanks again, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.